We're here for part 3 of the Bass Chords course, everything that you need to know. We talked about inversions in the last one, and this is a continuation of that lesson. Here we go. All right, guys, so in the previous lesson, we talked about inversions and how to play these inversions in different ways or in different parts of the fretboard. We did C Major Triad, we worked with that. So the C Major Triad, just in a nutshell, we have C, E, G. We're working with those 3 notes only, and then we're creating all of these different types of chords that have their own sound, unique sound, but they're the same exact chord. That's the beauty of it. So C, E, G or C, E, G, this is the root position, first inversion, just want to refresh your memory, and this is the third inversion. All right, C on the bass, E on the bass, G on the bass. Now, there's different ways to play this, different voicings that you can play this as well. So now I'm going to be switching up those last 2 notes. Okay, so I can play the C Major Triad as a chord here. So I have C, G, E. I think we talked about that one in the first lesson. So if you haven't seen part 1 and part 2, go watch those and then come back to part 3 so you can be caught up. So this is the root position. Because C is my bass note, this is the root position. So now we have to figure out the next inversion. All right, so the next inversion was an E on the bass, and we had E, G, and C. So now let's figure out how to play that a different way. I want to open that up a little bit more. So we have a E here on our E string, obviously, and then we have an E on the 12th fret. So I want to figure out how to play this inversion on this E string. Okay, so I can play the exact same formation here, right? But now I can open it up a little bit more. So now I have an opportunity to bring a note up an octave. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the G, so I have E, G, C here. I'm going to bring the G up an octave and get rid of this G. So now I'm going to be playing the E, this G, and this C. Such a pretty chord. I love that inversion of C major. Okay, so it's actually a nicer transition too as well. So we have C as our root position. Not too far away is our first inversion of C major with our E on the bass. Now we have to figure out the G. All right, our next bass note would be G, and we figured it out. And we had the G as the inversion this way. We had G on the 10th fret, C right underneath as a 4th, and then we have the E on the bottom as a major 3rd. So now we have to figure out the G. Where else can we play this? Where else do we have a G? We have a G here on the bass. It's pretty hard to do chords down here this low. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it up an octave. It would be nice if I played the right note the first time. So we have G here. All right, up here on our E string, 15th fret. So now we got to figure out the rest of the chord. So we do the same thing. Let's figure it out. We played the G here in this formation. It'll be the same exact positioning. So we have G, C, E, right? Was that right? Yeah, there we go. C, G, C, E. So now I have another opportunity to open this up a little bit more, and that's what I like to do. That's just my personal preference. I like to open up these chords and play the highest note possible without moving the rest of the chords, or without moving the rest of the notes, excuse me. So I have an opportunity to move this bass note up here, but then that wouldn't work because my bass note needs to be on the bottom. Okay, so that G I can't move. The C I can move. I have an octave right here. So let's get rid of this C. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's get rid of this C and move it up here to the 17th fret and keep everything else the same. Beautiful chord, very open, very wide. You know, these intervals are very wide open. Have a lot of space in between them. It sounds very full. All right, so all together I have root position, first inversion, second inversion. Beautiful. Now you have 6 different chords. If you're watching the second part when we were doing inversions, we did 3 chords. We did the root position, first inversion, second inversion. Now here we're doing root position, first inversion, second inversion, but just in a different positioning. All right. So you have 6 different positioning of one chord. So that's just how much you can kind of expand that one chord or your knowledge of that one chord, and even around the fretboard, because we're moving everywhere. We're all the way down here, first inversion. You see how they all have the same tonality? You know, So it has the same tonality of every single chord. All right, so that's just the beauty of learning these inversions. We'll get into the upper extensions like the 7s, the 9s, and the 11s and 13s and things like that. It's harder to figure that out on bass, like I said before, just because we only have so many fingers and we're only working with 4 strings if you have a 4-string. So it's hard to voice those or pick out exactly what notes matter. All right, so that's another part of this course that I'm going to be talking about, because it's actually pretty difficult to figure out which notes to leave out and which notes not to. All right, especially when you see a big chord or just on a chord chart or something like that. You have to know exactly what notes are the most important notes inside of that chord, and it's important to know how to read that and to manipulate it on the bass. But anyway, make sure your notes are coming out clean, clear, and precise. This is the second part of the inversions. This is actually the third part of the chords course in a whole, and we're going to be going over those upper extensions in the next chords course. So stay tuned for the next one. Make sure your notes are coming out clean, clear, and precise. And until next time, see you. All right, guys, so listen up. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also push that notification bell icon. I know that's one more step you got to take, but it's worth it so you don't ever miss a lesson that I post every single Friday and even more times than that. And if you're really, really serious about taking your bass playing to the next level, you'll become a Bass Nation Academy member at DaricBennett.com. All the links and all the info is in the description. I want to see you there. Come check us out. 3-day free trial, nothing to lose. I want to see you there. Did I say I want to see? I want to see you there. Till next time.